All right, guys, it's the winter time. You know, like, it's kind of cold outside, but that don't stop the boy DC from getting out and about and enjoying all kinds of live events. And when I do enjoy live events, I use the Game Time app to save money. All new customers, push that code in there, DCTV, to save $20 off your first purchase. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be going to a concert, comedy show, UFC, NFL postseason is about to start, baseball season, basketball. The Game Time app has got you covered. I like to go on a date and then maybe go catch a comedy show after with a meal while saving money. Our friends at Game Time got you covered. So again, sign up using my promo code DCTV for any of your entertainment at the Game Time app and save $20 off of that first purchase. Come on, man. Grab your lady or grab your man. Take him out on a date. Take him out on a night on the town and use the Game Time app to do it. Let's go.
Daniel Cormier!
Another episode of Funky and the Champ. I'm fat. Jamal's like skinny fat. Right? You're skinny fat.
Take it back.
Today I chose violence.
I'm suing. Sue them. I had to mute on for the fight. Sorry, Daniel. I did mute you.
You guys are gonna be lifetime enemies because of the shit you say the moment you get a microphone in your face. Bro, you're crazy. All right, guys. Welcome to a brand new episode of Funky and the Champ. I'm Daniel Cormier. That's Ben Askren. It is December 30th. We only have 2 days left in 2024. Ben, can you believe how fast the year's going? How's the holidays, man?
So fast. Holidays are great. You know, busy with our college kids coming home and doing some wrestling. We had some AWA stuff yesterday.
What did you do at AWA? You had a party?
Well, no, this is our third year. Well, we did this. It's called the AWA Youth Duel, and it's kind of an inter squad. But because we can't get all of our kids on dual teams anymore because we have too many, we do essentially an inter squad duel. So as many kids, 6th through 8th kids that they want, sign up, and then we just build teams, and then we just do matches. So we had 6 teams, and we just did 4 matches in the morning, and had a good time.
That's good. We had a Christmas party. Yeah. Whereas
nice.
That is why you beat us all the time now, because while you're wrestling duels, we're having a Christmas party where we're all decorating cookies and stuff. But I like my kids to be kids. I don't want to be the coaches that are like you that just run your kids into the ground.
You got don't you got the Doc B this weekend? Isn't that a big one?
Yeah, we have the Doc B. We also have those duels this week, and we're wrestling like IC Catholic Prep. That's a lot of Izzy's kids, and we're wrestling that Utah team in a duel.
All right, nice.
Ben, do you overspend for Christmas? You look like the type of guy that just overspends for Christmas. Like, what did you get your kids?
No. My wife's in charge of it.
But what did you guys give them?
I mean, yeah, I kind of looked at it, and actually, there's still like 2 gifts hiding in the back room because I'm like, that was too much. You can't give them that much stuff. So like, we're gonna save these for some other time. But my daughters are getting older, so like a lot of clothes and stuff. Yeah,
they get a lot of clothes now.
Ozzy loves football, so all football stuff. You got a football jersey, and you got a few of these dummies to throw into and type of thing.
So my kids got e-bikes. They wanted e-bikes bad, so they got.
That's where they don't have to pedal them; they just go.
They kind of pedal them, but they don't necessarily have to pedal them as much as before.
Okay.
Hey,
wait. So how old is your son? He's not? Is he?
No, he's 13. He's 13. He has like a year and a half before
high school.
Before high school, yeah. So it's gonna be a little bit still. Hey, but listen, Ben. So guess what happened to me on Christmas, bro? It's the craziest.
What happened? You got robbed.
We'll put the video. Oh, my house in Louisiana did get broken into.
Wait, you have a house in Louisiana still?
Yes. So I have a house in Louisiana that got broken into.
Oh man!
Because my sister and them happened to come out to California for Christmas. So I get back from the Reno Tournament of Champions. I walk into my house, and as I turn the curb, I go, "Well, Brian, how'd you beat me here? We were just on the phone." I go, "Cassandra, how'd you get here so fast to my house?" Bro, my whole family's here. Nobody told me.
That's awesome.
They've been planning it since September. It was the best surprise of all time. Ben, not 2 hours in, my sister goes, "Oh, you live on a golf course. Do you have a golf cart?" I go, "Yeah, I have a golf cart." "We want to drive it." So they get in my golf cart, my sister and my niece. Then they leave. So they leave the golf cart in the driveway. My 17-year-old nephew and the 12-year-old jump in the golf cart. Next thing you know, I can't find these kids. They're in the neighborhood going crazy in the golf cart. Finally, they call me. They're stuck on the side of the road because they crashed my golf cart into the curb, broke the steering column. Not 2 hours, bro.
Oh my
Not
God.
2 hours. And they had already broken my golf cart. And then
That's
I come
what
into my
happens,
podcast
dude.
studio this morning, and none of my wires are connected. I love my family, but I was so happy that they went back to Louisiana Ben after it was all said and done. Is
But
that
hey,
bad?
you need some land. So like, I got 10 acres, and it's like, go nuts. Like, you ain't gonna bother anyone else. You might break some of my stuff, but that's it. Like, you're not gonna be in the neighborhood messing with them. No one's gonna call the cops. Just like kind of go do whatever you want.
All right, Ben. So, like, we can talk about stuff like this all week because it's been a
Yeah.
while since I spoke to you, but obviously we do this podcast to talk mixed martial arts. So, it feels like our off season, and I got to be honest, like I was super excited about it when I left UFC 310, but bro, it kind of sucks. Like it kind of sucks that there's
Oh
nothing going
man.
on. Seriously, you don't think
I
it
like
sucks?
a nice little break. This time for us, yeah, this time for us is crazy. I don't know about California, but Wisconsin's got all their big Indian tournaments, and we got the Midlands Soldier Salute. Yeah, Cody Merrill's wrestling Stephen Buchanan in the semifinals.
Yeah,
You saw
that's
that one.
exciting.
So yeah, I feel like it's a nice little break, little focus on wrestling for us.
Yeah. So I've been wrestling, coaching, and everything. But
Mhm.
when I watch mixed martial arts, it seems like the news kind of dies down and
Yeah.
you're kind of searching for things to talk about, things to like look at. And everybody does a year in review, right? We've done that last year, our
Yes.
biggest moments, best moments. But there are things that are still happening a little bit. One thing that stood out to me the most was yesterday, Sean Brady was grappling. He won and he called out Leon Edwards and said he wants to
Yes.
fight Leon Edwards in England. He wants to fight him. And he said this. He said, I want to go to London. I want to fight Leon in his backyard on March 22nd after he won at Fury Professional Grappling. He said, hopefully the UFC can make that happen, but we will see. So in that statement, Ben, it sounds like Sean Brady, who is ranked lower in the world rankings, but not very low, probably like 5 or 6 off the top of my
He's
head.
high.
He's like 5 or 6, right? But to Leon Edwards,
Yeah.
who's number 1 or 2, it's kind of like, well, I've been the champion. I've only been fighting for belts. It took me 12 fights to get here. Why do I want to fight this young up and coming guy? And the only guy that's beaten Sean Brady is the now champion Belal Muhammad. Is it Leon
Yes.
Edwards' responsibility to go, yes, I will fight this young man because he's willing to come to London. He's willing to fight me in my hometown, in my backyard, and he has earned a right to stand across from a guy like myself in the octagon.
Yeah. I want to hear a funny story quick.
Tell me.
I almost grappled Sean Brady.
When did for this thing that just
Yeah,
happened this weekend?
yesterday. Yeah, the Fight Pass guys were in town for the Mizzou UNI, and they were like, "You grapple anymore?" I'm like, "No, I don't like the leg locks." He's like, "My thing doesn't. We do no leg locks in our thing." And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds interesting." And he kind of like made me an offer to grapple Sean Brady, and I thought about it for a few days, and it sounded like fun, but then I was like, I don't actually do jiu-jitsu anymore. Like, this is dumb. Why would I do this? And then I said, I appreciate it, but no. It would be so stupid.
Like, it don't matter that you don't do it. You just like to compete. We've seen
Yeah,
it. You go
yeah.
box.
So maybe a wrestling match. Who knows? But not jiu-jitsu. Sean Brady is very tough because I actually watched a few films of him. Like, oh man, this guy's pretty good. But I feel like in the UFC welterweight division, we have a lot of up and comers here. So we have 2 guys who are high in the rankings, Leon and Marty, who are old champions. But between Shavkat, De La Maddalena, Sean Brady, Machado Gary, Joaquin Buckley, we got a lot of young guys there.
Yeah.
Right? Who are trying to move their way up. So Leon's got to fight one of them. Is it Sean Brady? Maybe. He's tough, right? But he's got to fight someone here, right?
I believe so. I believe that he should fight one of these guys. I believe that for far too long, we as a sport have almost gatekeeped the upper levels of the
Yeah.
divisions. Dude, I don't think there's ever been a case more strong for that than at 155 when all those guys were just fighting each other. But then,
Yeah.
like, none of the young guys could get into the mix. It was Oliveira,
Yes.
it was Ferguson,
Gaethje,
it was
Poirier.
Gaethje, it was Poirier, and then Michael Chandler
Yes.
came into that mix.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then Islam and those guys were kind of like on the outside looking in, and when they finally got an opportunity, they became the best in the world. Like, think about
Yeah.
this, right? Arman got a chance, now he's fighting for the belt. Islam got a chance, he's now the champion. It was
Yeah.
like you don't know
Well, that's what
what these
happens. Time's undefeated.
time is undefeated. So
Yeah.
you don't know what happens when those guys get their opportunity. Unfortunately, it seems hard to get that opportunity. So for
Yes.
me, I think Leon should fight him because this is one thing that could happen. If you go and beat the young up and coming guy, he may
Yeah.
be one fight from earning another championship opportunity.
Oh yeah, he
Especially
should be.
if
For
if
sure.
it's not Belal Muhammad as the champion.
Yes. 100%. And you know what? When I just gave you that list, so Bilal is not young either, right?
No,
So Bilal's 36. So I want to say that's maybe even older than Leon, potentially. But you have these kind of three older guys, Leon, Bilal, and Usman, who've been to the top of the division. You have this list of up and comers, and then below that list of up and comers, you have other like established people, Colby, Gilbert, Stephen Thompson, etc. So if you're Dana, you got to push hard to give those up and comers. And this is what, kind of that. I gave you five guys: Rachmanov, Madalena, Brady, Buckley, Gary. You got to give those guys a shot against some of these former champions and see if they can put a show on. If they can put a show on, then they're ready for that shot.
well, so you have Belal Muhammad fighting Shavkat next.
Yes.
You have potentially uh Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady.
That would be a great one.
Okay, so say you have those two, then you could potentially go Ian Machado Gary, who's coming off of a loss,
Yep.
to fight Kamaru Usman, who's also coming off of a loss. Now it all makes sense, right? Now you're starting to get
Well, what about De La Maddalena? Where's he been?
hurt. He's hurt. He's
Still?
good. He's hurt. Jack Della is very good, but he's hurt.
Feels
He
like
had
it's
a
been
big
forever.
opportunity on his hands, but then he got hurt. So
He hasn't fought since March.
yes, because he got hurt, and I
Dang.
think he was scheduled for something, but then
Okay.
it got canceled because he was hurt. But if you get all those guys, then we find out
Yeah.
because there are times where guys do get the chance and they get beat. Remember Rafael Fiziev? Fiziev was
Yes.
like this guy. Everybody thought he was the man.
Yep. He's
And he
good.
still can be. They put him in there with Justin Gaethje. Gaethje said, okay, I'll give you the shot. And Justin beat him. So, like, there have been many instances where the young guy isn't quite ready yet, but then it happens later. But I think you have to do it. And I think for Leon Edwards, I don't know if there's a better fight to show
Yes.
that you have made the improvements in the areas that you need to improve in order to fight Belal Muhammad again. Because Sean Brady's going to
try to take you down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And if he's good defensively, then you might go, okay, maybe the fight with Belal Muhammad might look a little different next time.
Yeah. I mean, I think I think you're right. And yeah, Leon, when you lose a title, so he hasn't had a fight since he lost a title. When you lose a title, I generally feel like it's one, maybe two fights away at worst, right? Sometimes they give you an automatic rematch, but it's not very far away for you to get back to a title. So yes, I think he should take it. He hasn't fought since July. So, he does need to get back in there at some point. The other one, the other one's interesting in there, and maybe Leon would think this guy's easier. And I would say he's probably got more hype right now than Sean Brady would be. Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley's he's since he got in a fight with you, he's kind of
He's the
good.
man.
What's funny is he was kind of throwing things out there, and a few things weren't sticking, and a few things were silly. But sometimes when you throw things out there, you start figuring something out. So he's like kind of starting to figure out his personality a little bit, and he's becoming more likable, and he's winning fights also. So he's the guy who could be in the top division pretty quick as well.
I think he might be the guy that gets Jack Della Maddalena because I think he's
That'd
close.
be a good one.
Dude,
I'm in.
he beat the shit out of Colby Covington, bro.
That's probably why everyone loves you. You beat up
Bro,
Colby
did you
like
watch that fight? Did you get to watch that?
No, I watched highlights. I
Bro,
watched highlights. It was late.
bro, Kobe got I've never seen Kobe get beat that bad before. But yes, so Buckley's kind of found his groove, right? Because he did that Conor McGregor thing and it didn't work. But then I thought
Yes.
that the last call out he did, Kamaru Usman, was perfect. I
Yes.
thought that
I agree.
now, I thought that that was perfect. Him calling out Kamaru Usman.
Yep.
But
Perfect.
I thought that Wonder Boy to Kobe Covington to Kamaru Usman, if he can fight him, hell, he might
Yeah.
be next. Joaquin Buckley
Yes.
might actually be next, even before all these other guys. So I think the onus is on Leon Edwards to either fight uh Sean Brady or
Yeah.
Leon Edwards should fight maybe Joaquin Buckley because
Yeah.
Joaquin Buckley has a ton of hype around him right now.
Yeah.
He's got to be one of these up and comers to remind people that he's that guy. So they go, I want to see Leon Edwards fight for the belt again because right now, dude, it took him 11 fights to get a title fight in the first place.
Yes.
In the first place, it was hard for him to get a championship
Forever.
opportunity. So I don't know that they'll be rushing to give him another one. He beat someone that's very, very dangerous. But those guys are put in the work, right? Belal won a whole bunch of fights to get a title fight. Leon did too. Usman did too. So I kind of understand why they're not as open to giving those young guys opportunities.
But now, so Joaquin, I looked this up. He's won 6 in a row at welterweight since he got to welterweight. Luque, Thompson, Covington, all really good veterans. And this is fun because this is like sometimes. I mean, you made the point about 155. Sometimes divisions get stale where the top is kind of stuck at the top, but now you have this point where there's going to kind of be like a turnover for all the urging to the top, and how much longer can we'll just say the trio of Usman and Leon and Belal hang on to the top because they're all older. Yeah,
Kobe.
cool.
Right?
Kobe's already
was,
he's at 9 or something now.
yeah, but he was that guy. Now you see him on the descent, right? Like his time, it seems like time has caught up to Covington now.
Yes, 100%.
So like, when is that time for those guys too?
Yeah.
Hey,
so that'll be a fun flip for us to see happen over the next couple of years because it is boring when it gets stale up top.
I swear to God, I felt like that is what this year represented to me. It felt like there was a lot of changeover at the top of divisions in MMA. Like,
Merab, Ilya,
it
emerged.
kind of feels like well, obviously Max Holloway's done at 145, right?
Yep.
He's up at 155 now for good. With the way that Topuria beat Volkanovski, they're rematching. If he loses again, it's like we're done with that whole Volk Holloway era at 145. Then you start looking at like the Kamaru Usmans and those guys at 170. How long can they knock those guys or keep them away? The only person that's kind of stood the test of time is John Jones. John Jones has literally.
But he time warps because he only fights every 3 years, so it's like a time warp.
He somehow managed to fight for 15 years, bro.
Yeah,
and be the champion the whole time. Like that's crazy, dude.
Well, Pereira too now he's been in title contention for 2 or 3 years, or am I making this too long?
No. He's only been fighting in the UFC for 3.5 years.
But when did he win his first title? Because it was really fast.
It was fast. He fought 2 fights and then he got a title fight in New York. So he fought in New York the first year. By the next year in New York, he was fighting for the belt. So it only took him 12 months to get to Izzy because he made his debut and he beat that guy Bruno Silva, and then he beat Izzy. And then Izzy beat him. Then he fought Jan. Yep. He's just very active, right? So he seems like he's ever present.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what Khalil Roundtree said about that fight with Pereira?
He said something about it was fun, or what did he say?
What was that? I had moments of joy.
That's awesome. I think. Well, I will break it down for you because I love the sports psychology of it. Well, the flow state, you know what the flow state is? You heard of that, right?
I do know when it seems like everything's working.
Okay, when everything's working, but the flow state happens when all of your energy is focused on a singular moment in time, and everything else disappears. Right. So there's this really great book called The Rise of Superman I have somewhere, and it talks about extreme sports athletes in the flow state. And you know what sucks about them? I'll tell you the bad part is it's almost an addictive state because when you get there as an extreme sports athlete, it's when your challenge meets your skill level, right? So if the challenge is too big, then it's not good. If the challenge is too low, it's not good, right? So as these extreme sports athletes get better and better and better, the challenge has got to keep going up. So they're addicted to this
Pushing the
flow state.
limit. Yeah, they push the limit of what
And
they
they all
should do to
die.
kill themselves. Hey, yo, I got in the flow state one time. I swear to
Oh,
God, it happened.
yeah.
It happened, and I didn't recognize it was happening. And then I realized, like, afterwards, I was like, oh my God, now I know that feeling. Bro, it's when I was
Yes.
fighting Dan Henderson. I was doing
Really?
things, bro, I swear to God, I was doing things that I didn't even, it was like going boom, boom. Yo, I
Yes.
wasn't even trying. Like, bro, me and Dan Henderson were fighting. We punch into the clinch. I hit him with a step around throw, a Polish lateral drop. It was crazy, right? Who does
I
it?
remember that.
Bro, I hit a Polish lateral drop. Then we're punching each other. I get on a high crotch, and then I flip him
You
through
lift
the
him
air.
up. Yeah.
Yes. Then he gets up, and I foot sweep him from behind. It was like I was in a flow state. Dude, it was just like, and I grabbed him by the back of the head and foot swept him, dude. It was like everything was working.
Yes.
Every transition, every move that I did, every punch I threw landed. That was the only time I think that it was a complete flow inside the octagon. Even a wrestling match, right? When you're wrestling,
Really?
and you're like, dude, I think that was the only time inside my entire UFC career that I was just
Wow.
in such a flow where it felt like there was nothing he was going to be able to do.
Yeah.
Like there was no threat, bro. And I mean, have you ever got that? Like, have you ever felt it?
Yeah, I feel like I mean in wrestling I got there semi frequently. Fighting I think was harder because you do the round breaks. So even if you're flowing a little bit, the round breaks you stop and then you got
I
to
don't
go
think it
sit down for a
mattered.
minute and then you got to start again. And it's kind of like hard to get ramped up. And then obviously, you're thinking of like, oh, am I up 3 rounds or, is it 1-1 or, so you're thinking about all these exogenous things, which are not the fight. Whereas in a wrestling match, like generally the breaks are really
Short,
tiny,
yeah.
really short.
Bottom man
Yeah.
set, top man cover. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty much the break. No, bro,
Yeah.
I swear. I was
No,
like, oh
so
my God. Then you
I
could
thought that was
watch
cool
it.
by Roundtree. I thought that was really a cool statement. And sometimes guys don't like to acknowledge what the reality is. And it's like, yeah, you came up a little bit short, but you found that flow state. You were there.
Yeah,
You
but
were
can you
almost the
really
best in
be
the
in the flow
world.
state when you're getting beat that bad? Can you
Yes.
truly? No, you can't, man. That's
Bull crap.
bullshit.
I
That is
actually think
bullshit. You
no, I
cannot be
actually
getting beat that bad and be in a state of flow where everything's clicking.
well, no. I mean, so I know um he had success earlier in the fight, right? He had
Yes, he
more
did.
success early in the fight. So maybe he's more referencing that potentially. But then I do think sometimes with certain fighters, you always talk about like they don't start fighting well till they get hit. I
Yeah,
actually think when they get hit, sometimes like it summons that like deeper, not as logical reasoning part of your brain. Like
yeah,
kind of that caveman shit comes out a little bit, and you're
yeah.
like, I just got to fight for my life. And that, like, I just have to fight for my life right now. I think that actually snaps a lot of guys into the flow state, right? Is like, I mean, think about if you were, sometimes I say this to my kids. I said, except especially when they're whining, something's hard. I think about this shit. We're out on the plains in, 646 AD, and someone's trying to kill us. What are we gonna do? Whine because we're tired? Whine because we're hungry?
Yeah,
Are we gonna fight for our freaking lives here?
yeah. You
You
know,
know,
I,
like,
I
yeah,
did you I tried to recreate that. Like I tried to recreate that caveman shit in me every fight. So
yeah, absolutely.
abstained from sex for a while, like a month.
Are you kidding me? No,
Swear to
that's
God,
wrong. You're dumb.
I swear. Listen, abstain from sex for like a month, and
Okay.
then don't eat. Like literally eat at like so. Main event usually walked at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yep. Yeah.
Don't eat past like 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
I
But
agree with
just
that one.
starving, like literally just
Uh,
starving. Because when you're hungry, right, your
uh,
mind goes to a place like if I had to go and kill something to eat right now, I would do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
for
obviously, we're
sure.
not at that level of hunger, but it's like if I needed to
But you
go
can
and
fake
eat,
it a little bit.
yes, right, you can
Yeah,
put
yeah.
yourself almost in a caveman mindset to where
Yes.
you're like taking all the pleasures of life that we as men love so much,
Yeah.
food, women, those things that you take it away from yourself And then
Yes.
by the time you get in there with this dude, you're like, yo, you're the reason that I didn't get to do this. You're the reason that I'm hungry.
Uh,
Seriously,
I
like,
wa-
man, I'd agree.
well, I mean, I was, you know what? I was never that extreme. I was more just like, think of it like, well, if I don't try to hurt him, he's gonna hurt me. Like that's, like, if we're out on the plains and he's got something I want. If and there's no law, I got to kill him to go get his stuff, or he's gonna kill me. That's kind of how I thought about it in the octagon. I was like, and it wasn't actually till I was fighting Lyman good because everyone else before that, I thought they had good records, but I didn't think they were very
They
good.
weren't very dangerous.
And I looked at this guy. I'm like, oh, I'll bet to hurt this guy. If I don't hurt him, he's gonna try to hurt me. So let's go.
That threat level's got to be high, though. When the
Yes.
threat level's high, you're
Yes.
like really locked in. You're like
Yeah.
really, really
100%.
locked in. Hey, Ben, before I let you go, hey, Hanato Moicano is hilarious. First off,
Yep.
dude, we were in the octagon, me and him. This dude started talking about politics after he won the
I
fight.
love him.
Hey, yo. Then he said his dad, 60 years old, just had a baby. So he was going home to impregnate his wife. If his dad can do it, he's doing it. He goes, my dad is
Oh my
the
God.
ultimate man. He just had a baby. So I go home. I have baby. Right now, I saved the world with the cops. He just went crazy. He goes crazy. But here's the thing. He wins. And right now, he's winning at an alarming rate. This dude has won 6 in a row. He
Damn.
says that he'd be willing to fight Max Holloway for the BMF championship. You into that? Moicano Holloway?
So Moicano is also a Bitcoiner, just FYI.
Oh, yeah, he is a Bitcoin guy. Yeah, he is.
Absolutely,
Big
guy.
time Bitcoin guy.
Big
He
time.
spoke about that.
So, I don't know if I'm into Moicano Holloway, but I am very into I will fight anybody. I mean, that is how guys get a lot of, Pereira did the same thing. Kevin Holland got popular doing that. That's kind of how you get popular. You don't get popular trying to be cute and pick your way to the top. You get popular by saying, I will show up and fight anyone, and then actually doing it. So I love what he's doing. I don't know if they're going to give him Holloway next. I mean, he's got oh my God, who's he got? He's got someone
won
in
6 in a
LA.
row.
But no, in LA, who's he fighting? Dariush?
Moicano's fighting Dariush, I believe.
Dariush, yes. And so if he wins that one, he's going to have another opportunity on the microphone. And we know he's outstanding on the microphone. So I'm sure he's going to make an outstanding call out. And, 7 wins in a row in the lightweight division is going to get you someone really, really good.
Here's the thing. I believe that this dude really is good. I believe that because of how important the BMF title now seems to be, he's almost looking at the BMF championship and almost ignoring the fact that he's so close to maybe fighting for a championship. That's the only scare for me with the BMF championship. Because I've heard now on many occasions, people go, I'd like to fight for the BMF title. It's like, it's cool, right? But I don't know if that's what it was intended to be. But when you put world-class fighters in fighting for the BMF title like Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway, now you run into this issue a little bit where we got a guy Moicano going, I got a Dariush fight, which could potentially propel me into a championship opportunity, but I kind of want to fight Max Holloway for the BMF championship.
Moicano's at 10, so I don't think he's that close to a title. I think he's probably
won 6 in a row, bro. But look at the top.
Couple wins away.
10.
I know I got you, Armand, Oliveira, Gaethje, Poirier, Holloway, Hooker, all older. You're right. So you're right on that note. But I think, kind of just like we talked about with the welterweight, I think if he takes out Dariush, and he takes out one of the other guys who's been there forever and has a huge name, that's great. And what the other thing we know is Moicano will fight anyone, and he likes to fight frequently, which is great. Yep. And Islam doesn't like to fight all that frequently. And,
he does. Islam likes to fight. Just it's hard to fight.
How many times has he fought in the last year? Let me look at this.
3.
Really? Islam fought 3 times in a year?
In the last 12 months, Islam fought 3 times. He fought in Abu Dhabi. He fought in
No, he didn't. It was February 2023, October 2023, June 2021, and then he's obviously fighting coming up. So it'd be like 2 times a year.
No, 24. So February 23, October 23, June 24.
And that's it. And now January of 25. So
about 4 times in the last 18 months.
That's not bad. Not bad.
No, it's not that bad. Yeah. I mean, you could fight like, John Jones. Fight like once every few years,
Stop.
John Jones is the man, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He beat the shit out of Stipe. I didn't expect that. All right,
Really?
Ben.
You're lying. You expected
No,
that.
I kind of thought Stipe would fight him better. Stipe looks slow, though, man. He looks so slow.
Because he didn't fight in 4 years and he's 43 years old.
You weren't
Hello.
surprised?
No. I want Tom Aspinall, damn it.
You're so
All
stupid.
right.
So stupid. All right, Ben. Thank you again, man,
Bye.
for another episode of Fucking the Champ. Guys, that's our last episode of 2024. 25, we have many more episodes. Ben, don't leave yet. Luis needs you for 1 second
Luis, no,
before we
talk
go.
to you, Luis.
Until next time, guys, like, subscribe, and tell your friends about my YouTube channel. And always tap into Funky the Champ. I'm Daniel Cormier. That's Ben Askren. Peace.